Hello everyone, so we are back with another video today, and in today's question, if you don't know, this is the first time on this channel, I make SQL tutorial videos in which I end up solving questions live, so you get an understanding of how to go about solving a question, because I personally find this way to be better, because I used to watch videos in which it's like pre-solved questions, but I realized that if I could make something on the lines which is on the live side, I feel I can impart more value in it. So that's the reason that's what I do here. And yeah, about today's question. Today's question is a very good question. Why? I think it's just not about syntax. Okay, I mean, you must have already, if you have been watching my videos, okay, you guys must have probably pretty well versed with most of the syntax that is there. But today's question really dives into a good logical ability of a person to think. So this is what today's question is gonna be about. Nothing new syntax, nothing new fancy words which you have to mug up or something like that. Simple row numbers, ranking functions, but very involves a bit of logic. So yeah, so let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys so you can understand the question and what to do about it, and also try it out. So let me go ahead and share the screen. Um, yeah. So we're back on our screen as usual. As we all know, if this is the question, okay, and this is the create and insert tables. So I'll be posting this, on the descriptions section, okay, so you can copy paste it and try it out and play around with it, okay. And personally, I prefer SQL Server than other platforms because I just think it's more faster in a way. It's just a personal preference. I like the UI better than MySQL or PostgreSQL or anything like that. So yeah, so as usual, make sure you copy paste the question, and if you want to hear the explanation of the question, you can do that. But make sure you guys take an effort to try out the question, because not trying out and just watching a solution directly is just not right. Because I'm telling you, the today's question does not involve any new syntax. Okay, so you don't have to be like, okay, I cannot do it because I don't know about certain things of SQL, right? So yeah, so try it out for 15 minutes, okay. Write it on a piece of pen and paper. Before you even try to solve it, write on a piece of paper what is the approach and how do you plan to go about doing it. So have a proper approach to it, then only go ahead and solve it, okay. So let's read the question. um what does it say? Write a query to find the first date on which the stock price decrease for the second day in a row, and that means two consecutive days of the price drops ending on that day. Now let me just go ahead and this is the the tables, okay. This is what the output should look like: stock symbol, second consecutive drop date, like this. And let me run this and see, okay. So what are we looking at, and what do we really want? So we are basically looking for something in which, let's say, the price has fallen for the second time. Let's look at Apple here. Look here, 150, 152, 149. So this is increase, so this is completely out. 152, 149, 148. You know why this is good? Because it has fallen for the second time. First time fall, second time fall. And this is what you're looking for, right? And let's look at another thing. 148 to 149, 148, 151 increase. So this disqualified, okay. 148, 151, 150 disqualified, okay. And look, observe here. 150, 149, 147, okay. This by logic, this is right, but you have to understand what the question is asking. The question is asking what? Write a query to find the first date on which the stock price decreased, not always when it's decreasing for the second day, okay? So you have to find only the first date. So in here, you have to understand what is the only thing we're looking at is something like this. So we're looking for 152, 149, 148. So there's a reason why we are getting Apple here as this one, okay? So this is what you're looking at. We're not looking for always whenever it falls, right? So get that concept clear out. Now you can go ahead and try it out. Pause the video right now and start solving the question. So how do I go about solving this question? If whenever I think of something like whenever the concept called first date, second date, or fifth, sixth date, they're asking me, my first concept is, without even thinking about it, I'm like, I'm just gonna do one thing, which is just do a row number over it and just see whatever I want, probably would want to do it. So let me just go ahead and do a row number over partition by. Partition by stock symbol, order by price date. So whenever things come to your mind that they're asking for first, second, third, okay, just go ahead and without wasting time, just rank it up. I would say, don't waste time. Okay, so what have I done here? Okay, so I have basically ranked it up right now, and this is the ranking function. I've done it. Okay, um, yeah, let me just do an ASC here because we want it to be ranked from lowest to highest. Okay, so you don't need to do it because the data is designed in a good way. But what if the data wasn't designed? Okay, like what if the data was mixed? Okay, you never know, right? That's the reason it's important to always do it. Okay, now understand the question. Okay, and what is the next steps gonna be like? So what they are basically saying is that you want to find out, like, compare between the second date. Okay, now how do I do it? Okay, if I want to do something like this, like comparison between the um let's say the first and the second, there are two ways to do it. One of them is you might want to do something called as lag and lead, where you probably create another column which basically says the lead, the next one, and then you start comparing between. Okay, that's my first thought behind it. Okay, so you can use lead. Basically you can get all the price dates which are on the next side. Okay, so you can get, so what I understand in here is that the way to solve this would be comparing it, okay, but different and getting this, let's say the first price date and the second one in here. So for example, if 150 is here, I might want to get one, probably like 152 here, 152 or 149 here. Okay, so I have to compare it and then do it. And if I have to compare the prices of twice, okay, and I want to compare it because the question is saying that the stock price decreased for the second day in a row. So I have to basically compare, let's say, the first, the second, and the third. Okay, what if how would I? It would be great, for example, if something like this happened, like, okay, 150 is here, let's say 142 here, and 149 is here. Okay, this would be a great way to do a comparison, don't you think? Like 152, 150, 152, 149. Then you can use a where function and then solve the question, right? This is a great way I think I can do it. Okay, because I feel that, because what we are asking is basically a comparison we have to do, and then we can do it. So there are two ways. You can use the lead function, lead function, and find out all the price for the next date on the other side, or I'm going to use a rank function here, which I've already done here. So let me just start off and explaining what my approach is. So I'm going to do with numbered as, I'm going to do something this select, okay, and I'm going to do, like, let me just do this one from numbered. Let's add something like, let's do RNK. Okay, let's do this is smaller name. So let me do as R1. Okay, from is working, right? Okay, now what are we looking for? We don't need the price ID. Let's remove all the nonsensical data from here which we don't need. Okay, so price ID and everything is not really required. So let me just go and write like this way: R1 is equals to, stock symbol is required because we'll be using that. Okay, stock symbol is required, stock symbol, and no, we gotta put R1 here. That's the reason. Okay, R1 stock symbol. Okay, and what else is required? We require the price date, R1 dot price date. Let's see if this is working. You're getting it right now. What else is required? We require the price too, right? Because that's an important factor here, right? We're getting the price. Now we're getting the factor of comparison. Now, how do I start about comparing between things? One of the easiest way to start comparing is something called as, we can do a self join, okay, or we can start doing a left join here. Okay, so I'm going to do something. I'm going to join rank table on rank itself. How I'm going to do it? Let's say rank 2, and I'm going to do on, and how I'm going to join it? I'm going to join it on this one, R1 dot stock symbol on equal to R2 dot stock symbol. Now we're joining it on the same thing, but how do we basically make a differentiation and do a comparison? Okay, because we want 152 to something like that to happen, right? So I'm gonna do something like this and observe it clearly. What I'm gonna do, r1 dot rn. Is it rn? Let me check. R1, yeah. R1 dot rn is equals to r1 dot rn plus 1. Let's see if this works. Okay, no, this is, I need to get the R2 price also. Yeah, R2 dot price also here as let me write this as current price as next price. Yeah, so let me just run this once. Okay, hold up, this is not working out. Hold up, something is wrong with this thing. Okay, R1, and it has to be joined on R1 plus Rn. Okay, hold up, R1 plus Rn. Okay, um okay, now I get it. Okay, R1 plus R2n, what's happening? Yeah, yeah. So observe one thing what I've done here. um okay, so what I did here was that, observe one thing. So I've moved another table to down here. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to move the entire thing at the below, like the entire thing. So 150 has been moved up below here because I want to start comparing it, right? Now you've understood what I've done here. Observe one thing. So this is the next price. Okay, so you can observe 150 to 152 is here. Okay, and understand one thing. Okay, so 149, 148. So I think everything is moved. If you can observe, basically, it's just there's nothing has happened here. Everything has moved down. Now let me just go ahead and do one more thing here, and just do one more because we want for this is for the first date. If it was asking just for the, for the 1 day in a row, but we want second day in a row, right? So I'm gonna do something like this here, R3, and then I'm gonna do R3, and then I'm gonna do like what, R3, and I'm not just gonna do plus 1 here because we want it for the second day, right? So I'm gonna do here plus 2. Let's see what's gonna happen like here. Let me just add the R3 dot price as next next to price. Okay. Okay, let me see. So observe what has happened here. Okay. So as you remember, my thought process was basically I wanted to go about comparing things in here, right? And you observe one thing. What is the question that we're looking at? The output we wanted was something like 2023 0104. And observe one thing. So if you observe what has happened here is that the next two price, the 152, 149, 148, this satisfies the category. You know why? Because it basically says that the it has to decrease, right? So it, okay, look, observe, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So you can observe it has decreased, okay. So observe the previous price, okay. So observe the price, okay. This was 152, 149 has come here, and 148 is here. So if you observe, there's definitely a decremental price in here, okay. Observe the thing, okay. So this was the current price, and this is the so I think the next two is a wrong way to use here. So yeah, so 148, 149, and 152. Let me edit this. Hold up. It'd be better for you guys to understand if I had a better alias, because it's giving you confusion factor here, because you're basically would be confused because it's not next. Okay, yeah. So observe one thing here. What's wrong here? Could not be found. What's wrong here? Okay. Um. Yeah. So observe one thing what has happened here. So 2023 0104 148 149 152. So basically this 3 has happened here, okay? Now it's the question has probably been solved completely because we were basically objective was to start having 3 different prices from 3 different comparisons, okay? Now, let me go ahead and just put this into another CT, which is into colors joined. Let's say joined as this, okay? Yeah. Now let me go ahead and do. So now the question is very clear. I hope you guys understand, okay? Is equals to from joined, okay? Group by stock symbol, okay? So yeah, the question is pretty well, I think so. Let me just go ahead and run this, okay, once and see. Joined, okay? Hold up. Group by. Yeah. Okay, so this is not valid here because I've put a group by function here, not a valid function. So yeah, so let me just, so this is working right. Now understand the final query. So we have done the comparison right now, but we have to use a comparison. It's still waiting right now, right? So understand one thing. We have to find the first date. Now how can you do first date here? Okay. Now we don't want for everything. For example, this also satisfies the condition. This is also right, if you think about it. But we want it to be the first date. So I'm gonna do a simple thing here. I'm gonna do this thing, price date. And I'm gonna use a group by function here, group by, and do stock symbol here. Let me see if this is gonna run or not. I'm gonna get a query. Okay. Join is not put as okay, as okay. I understand why it's happening because I'm using this entire thing which is wrong. So I have to put stock symbol here. Okay. So I cannot have the entire thing because I'll have to put everything in a group by, but I only put here stock symbol. Okay. As as what is the price date? What do you want as stock symbol? Okay. Stock symbol. Stock symbol. Now, the question is not over yet, okay? Now it's working, right? But we are getting all the price date which is first because this is selecting the minimum ones, right? So what it's doing is that it's selecting the stock symbol and it's doing a group by on that and selecting the minimum price date. But we don't want that. We want a particular thing. There's a reason we all did this thing, right? We did this thing for a reason, right? And I'm gonna do something like this. I'm gonna do where current price, what's the name confirm? Current price should be less than the previous price. You remember why we did? That's the reason we started comparison. And another one would be previous price should be less than previous previous to price. Let me see if this runs or not. I'm gonna get an error or something. Perfect. So huge understanding of the logic in here. Observe here what I've done here. So yeah, so this question was pretty logically because I mean even I had an issue trying to solve it because of the um a lot of joins were happening here. But yeah, understand to summarize everything what I did here was that I put a row number here as rank function, added all the things. You could have used a lead function or lag function here, but I prefer using a rank function because I'm more comfortable using rank functions. Joined it all the three, got 3 prices side by side lined with each other. And once the 3 prices was there, now I could compare it very easily, right? And now I just went ahead and did this where function here, and I think its question's working pretty all right. So yeah, so that's the output we are getting, and perfectly as the way we wanted. So yeah, um, so that was the question. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you found value in it. If you guys found value in it, hit a like button. Helps me, really keep me motivated. Otherwise, it just sometimes I feel that I don't want to make videos. So likes do help me, and the videos getting views. So I'm aiming for 5 likes for this video. So yeah, till then, thank you very much for watching this video. Have a good day. Take care. Have a great week. Bye.